Hi again. Like I said, we're doing these kind of in short order. So this is our third video in this series. This is our basic floor plan for our Architectural Design 1 course. And right now we're going to put the brick veneer on this. This building has a brick veneer all the way around, which we don't see much anymore, but they do occur. So we're going to just do this one right now. So I'm actually going to, what I've done is I've changed my layer to my brick 1 layer, or 1 brick, okay? And I'm going to wrap this whole building with a polyline. So I'm going to come over here to polyline. I'm going to start just down here on one corner and wrap all the way around the lovely building here. So what I'm doing here is I'm just outlining the area that the building's brick will cover. Now, we need to take into account a few things as I do this. So I'm going to go close because we're done. There's my brick veneer outline, but that brick veneer is usually about 3 inches thick. So I'm going to type in 3, enter, and offset that out. All I did is this. So you can see what happened here. I'm going to undo once. I'm going to go offset. I typed in 3, enter. I picked this polyline I just made, and I picked outward from it. Okay. Now, awesome, right? Depends on who you are. But here's the deal. Because of the way I put that on there, I've got to put in all my other fixtures. So the window here, my door openings, I've got them covered right now. So I need to go in here and extend, actually, those out. So give me just a second and I'll go in and do that. I can do it a couple of different ways. Personally, I like to do the extend, enter, enter. And, oops, didn't like that. I'm on the wrong window. That's why. And extend that out like so. And same thing with this one. Okay. And then I'll go up here and do the same thing with this door. Like that. Same back here to these windows. Do the same thing there. And, oh, didn't like me for some reason. There, there, and across that one. Okay. I've got 2 more on the side here. 1 there and 1 there. And then 1 down here. Okay. Oh, I forgot the one in the very front of the house, didn't I? Okay, make sure I get him too. So there's my windows and my walls marked in. So once I've got that, I can then come back in and do some trimming. I'm going to use the trim function, enter, enter. And I'm actually get rid of some things. So trim, enter, enter. I don't need that line right there. I really don't need this one. I don't really want either of those two because that's blocking my doorway. I don't want the inner one here. I don't want the inner one here. I don't want the inner ones on any of my windows. Okay. And I don't want them on any of my doors at all right now. So there's my openings for my windows around my house. I'm going to go back and I'm going to say make current. And that way I pick on this layer right here and it flips it to my main layer. I'm going to draw a line across these 2 openings for the doors. That's going to be a heavier line, wall line, to represent that threshold or that stoop that is the first step out of my house. So that's all in place. My brick's now in place. Now here's where we get to talk about something called Poche. Poche is basically the hatched fill, the fill inside your walls so that you know they're actual walls. Now, hatching, like in art, is just lines to represent a fill. In architecture, we use hatching a little differently. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to leave it on my brick layer, but I'm just going to type H for hatch, okay? And it's going to pull up this, and I'm going to pick my cursor right in here on that wall right there, and right in there, okay. It doesn't like me on that one. Let's try that again. There we go. Get right in there. And I'm not going to do this because it goes off my screen right there. So we're not going to worry about that one right now. But what I am going to worry about right here is my scale. I'm going to change that scale to be like 48 because you don't normally draw it like 1 inch to a quarter inch to 1 foot scale, which if I do it like that gets me my hatch set just about right. So I'm going to go by layer right here for my color. Pattern is this basic. It's the default pattern for right now because that's what I want to use. And I'm going to hit enter once. So now it's put it in there. But here's the problem. Because I was on the wall layer, it put it in as white. I need to highlight that and change it to a different layer. So if I go back here to home, I can tell it to match layer, okay, of this, match layer of this to this. There we go. So that way I put it in as a hatch layer that's the walls. Now, as I go around my building and do that, I have to make sure I fit that view inside my piece. So see, when it's kind of like a flood fill when you do it, so I have to get right in the right spot to put it in there, okay? So it gets really awkward at times, okay? Important things to do when you do this is make sure you're on the right layer. So make current layer, that one. And then when I go hatch, It makes an associative hatch that fills in between those two wall pieces right there and there. Okay, and that puts my hatch outside my house. Okay, I didn't like that point. Let's try that one. Enter. There we go. Now, here's where the poche is also used. It's also used inside the walls. In fact, I have a layer in my plans that is called poche. It's right here. It's gray. So when I do that and I go hatch, enter, I actually use a solid hatch for this. And I get right inside the middle of the wall areas, the wall cavity, not the rooms, and I drop it in there. And that's so that it fills those wall cavities in solid. Whoops, see how that goes off the screen? It won't select it. So I got to make sure I get ones that go on the screen only. And so I get kind of limited sometimes because I went off the screen with Poche. See, it didn't like that one. Got to get right in the spot right there and hit enter. Now I'm going to move this up so I can get that last part I missed in. I get it right in that wall cavity there and right in this wall cavity here. Enter. So that way I've got my walls hatched in and they're dark and they're thick and they know which ones are what kind of wall. Okay. These are framed walls. This is a brick veneer. Okay. That's really all there is to it. So as I put that down, that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Now we're going to come back in and probably the next thing I'll do is dimensions, and then I'll start adding features like your water closet, your lavatory, that's your toilet, and your bathroom sink, your kitchen basins, things like that, cabinets, upper cabinets, lower cabinets. And that way we're good to go and we'll be done in a few minutes with this. So don't overthink it and enjoy your time with it. Okay. Later on, I'm going to show a couple of tricks to make it so you can develop into not just an elevation in AutoCAD, but a couple of things we use in our classroom to help us visualize in 3D, and that and usually incorporates the use of SketchUp and things like that. So have fun and enjoy it, and hopefully do this relatively quickly. Good luck. Bye.